A prime minister who imposed emergency was held accountable in 1977. And therefore, let there be no doubt about it. Constitution is for the people, and its repository of safeguarding it is that of elected representatives. They are the ultimate masters as to what constitutional content will be. There is no visualization in Constitution of any authority above Parliament. Parliament is supreme. And that being the situation, let me tell you, it is as supreme as every individual in the country, part of we the people, is an atom in democracy. And that atom has atomic power. And that atomic power is reflected during elections. And that is why we are a democratic nation. We cannot allow these people who have no claim justifiably to influence our minds. Before believing them, we must test them. And therefore I am saying unhesitatingly that Campus Law Center is iconic. It has been tested all throughout. The reputation is well earned, well recognized. And why? Because it has been, as indicated by the Vice Chancellor, a great place of ideation. I am so glad you are starting this ideation now in a different mode. By all standards, Campus Law Center and its alumni have shaped the destiny of the nation. Let me recall my good friend who is no more, Arun Jaitley, and the contributions he has made, and many more. And therefore I can say it's a crucible of change. And as was reflected in pre-Socrates era by a philosopher, Heraclitus, the only constant in life is the change. This change will emanate now from here on what is our constitution, what are our obligations, and our belief, supreme belief, unrestricted, unregulated, in nothing but truth, absolute truth, because truth is sanctified by our civilizational ethos, our Vedic culture, and is a demand of our constitutional core values. The of the Constitution, people of great eminence, they gave us a Constitution thoughtfully, working painstakingly, engaging in dialogue, avoided confrontation, always went for consensus. They had boys and girls divisive issues before them, highly contentious issues. But they gave us a Constitution. That represents our identity, values and national aspirations. But according to our Constitution, our civilizational values, and for any democracy, every citizen has a pivotal role. I find it inconceivably intriguing that some have recently reflected that constitutional offices can be ceremonial or ornamental and pulsates in every citizen. and pulsates in every citizen. Democracy will blossom. Its values will get heightened when citizen is alert, citizen contribute. There is no substitution of that. But boys and girls, in one case, Golaknath, Supreme Court said, preamble is not part of the Constitution on occasions. Through elections, a Prime Minister who imposed emergency, was held accountable in 1977. And therefore, let there be no doubt about it. Constitution is for the people, and its repository of safeguarding it is that of elected representatives. They are the ultimate masters as to what constitutional content will be. There is no visualization in Constitution of any authority above Parliament. Parliament is supreme. And that being the situation, let me tell you, it is as supreme as every individual in the country, part of we the people, is an atom in democracy. And that atom has atomic power. And that atomic power is reflected during elections. And that is why we are a democratic nation. Democracy is not only for the government to govern, it is participatory democracy. Just not laws, but also culture and ethos. Citizenship demands action, not merely status. Already Dr. Ambedkar has been quoted, but I will reiterate. Dr. Ambedkar recognized freedom requires responsibility, and that is why we have in our Constitution fundamental rights and fundamental duties. To the students of law, and everyone in general, let me tell you, fundamental duties were not there originally in the Constitution. But Constitution is a dynamic document. It has to reflect aspirations of the people, take note of contemporary situations. So we had by 42nd Constitution Amendment Act, a new part added to Indian Constitution, Part 4, capital A. And that introduced an article, Article 51A, that initially gave 10 fundamental duties. But then it was felt, one more duty needs to be added. And that, if I'm not wrong, was brought about by 86th Constitution Amendment Act, early in this century, to give great impetus on education. We must always give precedence to our duties above our rights, because this nation is ours. Nationalism requires commitment that is unadulterated, a commitment that is emanating voluntarily, and that this will not be superseded by any other consideration, partisan, personal, or otherwise. Now, our Constitution, as a matter of fact, boys and girls, reflects our civilizational ethos of thousands of years. We are so unique in the world, unparalleled. The world is recognizing our might now. The world is understanding India, Bharat, as it was 1300 centuries ago. And therefore, we can cull out from Vedic Dharma our constitutional vision, and that vision is democracy is shaped not by governments, democracy is shaped by individuals, because individuals bear the responsibility to uphold our symbols, preserve our heritage, defend sovereignty, foster brotherhood. This has happened during emergency. People gave their supreme sacrifice, but did not bargain for fundamentals of our civilization reflected in our constitution. But then, boys and girls, what is democracy? We have to stunt the entire world. It has reached the last person. Everyone is benefiting. So boys and girls, the power is in you. You have to project your own ideas. You have to... Is our discourse manipulated? Is our discourse controlled by money bags, by muscle power, by foreign interests, by people working against interest of this nation? You will have to discern. So quality of discourse defines the democracy. And in this, I have no doubt our youth must elevate beyond partisanship to thoughtful deliberation. Our youth cannot afford at this critical juncture when Bharat is rising. The rise is unstoppable. We are destined to be a global power. We will be a developed nation. You cannot be tied down to partisan interests. You have to believe only national interest. In India, if we examine our background, there was a time when individuals had profound moral and social standing. Respect was only for those who had high moral ethical standing, who had everything to give back to the society. If I quote Upanishad, Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande, as is the individual, so is the universe. व्यक्ति जो होगा ब्रह्मांड वही होगा, इसलिए कहा गया यथा पिंडे व्यक्ति यथा ब्रह्मांडे. And that is why people have narrowly construed the great inclusivity of Bharat, Dharma of Bharat. And our silence, boys and girls, may be very dangerous. As thinking minds, as privileged minds, getting education in such a great university, you have to be contributors for preserving our national legacy, our thought process, and ensure sustainability of it. We cannot afford this to be thwarted by forces inimical to Bharat that have structured sinister designs, pernicious motivations to run down institutions, be that of the presidency, tarnishing individuals. Every word that is spoken by a constitutional functionary is guided by the supreme sublime interest of the nation.